minutes. We want to answer your questions about business, life, and everything in between. Send your questions to ask@beckandliz.com. That's ask@beckandliz.com. Our question today, Elizabeth, is around filling your cup. How do you fill your cup when you feel like you're on empty? You've gone through a divorce, you've gone through a pandemic, things are, falling apart around you. How do you recharge and fill your cup?
I think that's a critical question to survival. And, when we talk to Dory, I think a lot of people who have been through a divorce can relate to being empty, having your cup emptied. And she was able to focus her energy and fill her cup up by being creative and creating this business and creating a space for her kids and herself to redefine who they were together, and pour herself into something that filled her cup. And then by doing that and going through all this process over the years, she was able to fill others' cups. She took her little candle and lit the next one and lit the next one through the franchise system, which is what I love about franchising, is that it carries forward. You're paying it forward, really.
Yeah.
But I think I've been through a divorce. I poured myself into, during that time. I had a sick child. I had a lot of things going on at one time, and I played tennis like nobody's business. I filled my cup by being physically active, by forming a community of women in tennis, that became some of my closest friends. And I haven't played in a long time, but I'm still friends, very close. My very closest friend in Pensacola is from the tennis team. First time I ever met her, she smacked me in the back of the head with her ball. She was serving behind me and she had a serve and she just hit me in the back of the head. She didn't know me at all. So she had no idea what I was going to do. And she was very relieved that I turned around and fell over laughing.
Oh my
God. That is a way to introduce yourself. But I think that was one way I filled my cup. What methods have you used to fill your cup?
Well, and I think the point I want to highlight with what you said is we have to fill our own cup before we can take our candle or our energy and then light other people's cup. And for each of us, it is different. For Dory Roberts Stewart, it was to find some purpose in teaching young kids engineering, which then allowed her to also get her kids involved. So she filled her cup by contributing, right? By helping others. And then in turn, she got emotionally rewarded for that. And she felt more fulfillment, more purpose, and she got wonderful feedback from others. So it's fill our cup first, and then we can light the candle for someone else, so to speak, And I think each of us has a different way to do it. You did it through physical exercise and building community. She did it through creativity and creating a business. But I think each of us has to find what that is, what fills our cup. I can tell you, as women, almost always filling our cup involves community. It includes being in relationship with one another, picking up a phone and talking to someone, going someplace where you can, share stories and talk about the future and about that idiot and whatever it is that you want to talk about, right? But almost always the filling of the cup is a relational thing. I don't think we evolve and develop personally outside of relationship. We're not islands. I think that's important. So I think that's why the coterie is growing so quickly and we're getting such wonderful feedback, is we're creating a platform that allows women to be in community. They're not going to get a lead and to grow their business. They're going to fill their cup.
Well, exactly. I think that's exactly, I realized that distinction some today. I mean, that's always been the goal. But you go to networking groups and it's work. You're trying to bring leads to other people. You're getting leads. Then you have to do something with those leads, and it's creating more effort and more work. And sometimes that can be draining and exhausting. I mean, it's always good to get leads.
Exhausting.
But we want to be a place where you come in and have real conversation and talk about things like the gifts in your struggle. ask questions and talk about, we have a woman who talks about, she gave us a quote about bringing value to every experience she has, but also gaining value from those she interacts with. And it's been kind of a transformative way of thinking for a lot of us who were in that conversation, because you have to believe that and accept it. And that fills your cup. Those sorts of conversations can give you a different perspective of how you walk through your day the next day or the next week or the next year. We're still talking about that quote. And this was several weeks ago at happy hour. So I think these things are incredibly valuable in terms of finding the intimacy in the community without having to perform something.
Right.
Having an ability to have a real discussion.
And when you do perform, it's because your cup overfloweth, right? For lack of a better way of saying exactly. That. You're full, and now you want to contribute. Now you want to give. Now you want to bring your gifts to whatever situation that you are in. So it becomes a natural thing. But if you're not first taking care of yourself, right, and filling your own cup one way or another, however that is done, it's hard, to give and to light the candle for someone else or pass on your own gifts when you yourself are kind of just sort of surviving in many ways, intellectually, socially, in other ways. The pandemic has really highlighted this because folks are much more isolated than ever before. And so this has become increasingly more of a need for us to understand we need each other. We need to be in relationship. And so that's what we want to do here at the Coterie, right?
Yes, we would like to fill your cup.
Yes, fill your cup and then share your cup with others, right?
Exactly. Then pour it to somebody else's.
Pour it into someone else's. Exactly. I love that.
Well, I think we're on the right track. So if you have not checked out the Coterie for Women and you are a woman in need of community and support and no expectations of performance, but also willing to give back when you're ready, we are the place for you.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today, where passion and purpose collide, profits are made, and relationships are forged. This is Beck and Liz signing off and wishing you another purpose-filled and profitable week.